now, but it's usually white friendships, white, friendship.
Well, hey, great minds think alike. So, Queen Iminah, how do you think I did today?
I know that you did fabulous.
So this is a DNA style special from Queen Dadisi.
Oh.
She goes back and forth from Ghana. She also does tours back and forth from America to Africa. And I thought, you know what? Since I'm seeing Queen Iminah, I might as well kind of get dolled up in something that I thought she'd appreciate.
I love it. You look fabulous. It's beautiful. My only complaint is it's not one in my size too.
Well, DNA styles.
We'll have to see about that, DNA styles. Yeah, this is beautiful.
So, hey, you know, I have loved spending time with you in community. A lot of it has been around the arts, spending time at, you know, the different compounds with Dwayne Wiggins, and you creating music and dancing, and me doing the Kim Caldwell show. Rest in peace, our guy.
Man, rest in peace, rise in power. It's still resonating with all of us throughout Oakland, throughout the Bay Area, and just throughout the creative world overall, especially the Black music world. His ascension is still resonating in all of us, and will be for time to come.
Time to come. And as we talked about, one of the most important things for his legacy to continue is to continue creating and giving back. And one of the things that I love about you as an artist is not only are you beautiful inside and out and extremely talented and creative, but you are giving back in community in so many different ways. Can you talk to our audience a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I am who I am and who I'm becoming because of those who came before me and poured into our community here in Oakland, in the Bay Area, and just throughout our world in so many ways. And so I have definitely wouldn't feel like my complete self if I didn't always find a way to give back and help open up more doors for those coming behind us. And I'm always grateful to do so. Over the years, as you've known me and I've known you, and we've seen each other blossoming and growing. I moved back to Oakland in 2013, and I had a vision after coming back home from Spelman College and spending time in Atlanta, finding myself, hey, you know,
Howard over here, right next to you.
Hey, so you know, HBCU Queens are in the building.
In the building.
I was actually close to going to Howard, but that's just another story for another day. But definitely, I'm so grateful to have had that experience. And I really was fortunate to have an experience of growing up in the African-centered community in Oakland through a very challenging time, because it was also during the height of the crack cocaine epidemic as well. And so I was faced with those two paradoxes of having a very close, tight-knit, African-centered, uplifting community in Deep East Oakland, where I'm from, and then also realizing that Oakland overall was engineered to being a ghetto in many different ways. And so having a lot of my family members impacted by that, friends impacted by that, and also the cultural mindset of our people and of the community, especially in Oakland, and the youth of my generation were negatively programmed in a lot of ways. And so for me as a young woman, even going through my journey in Atlanta and going through college and being on my own for the first time, I myself became wrapped up in the streets, wrapped up in the output of the ghetto ideology that is popularized as Black youth culture in America. And so I found myself fully active in that lifestyle. And then for me, hitting rock bottom, almost losing my life, almost losing my freedom, almost getting caught up in human trafficking and sex trafficking, that is an epidemic, especially for Black girls in America and throughout the entire world. It's an epidemic that all that experience really showed me how thin the veil is between success and failure, and what factors can really contribute to your success or contribute to your failure. And so,
and the choices.
Right. And our values.
And sometimes, especially the younger generation, and as you always think that won't be me.
Yeah.
Until one day you turn around and it's you. But you may have had the choice to either go one way or the other, but you thought, oh, never me, or that you're invincible.
Right.
And
it's easier, especially in that transitional age youth space.
Yeah.
And so that is a huge factor, but especially just as young people are finding their way and how our society helps to shape their values, which shapes their choices, which shapes what we're attracted to, what we aspire to. And so I found myself aspiring in a very negative direction, though at the time I thought it was positive because that was what is promoted as positivity to
what
me.
you hear in music, social media, things of that nature. And it seems like almost like they're catapulting all the negative things and highlighting them as if it's something to do. And people are looking at Black America saying, what are you doing to your youth?
Right. What are you doing to your youth? What are you doing to yourselves? Like, what is Black American culture, and why at this stage in our existence in humanity's been in existence for millions of years, why is ghetto culture almost synonymous with Black culture? Like, what is that about? And so me going through my personal journey as a young woman, finding myself after losing myself, and going from where I grew up, gifted, talented. I was student body president of my high school. Shouts out to Oakland Tech, Bulldogs in the building. But was a student leader, honors student, all the things, soccer team captain, tennis team captain, all the things. And then finding myself at Spelman College, not identifying with a lot of the more well-to-do elite that were part of that institution, realizing that I was considered ghetto, I was considered poor because I came from Oakland, because I was a first-generation college student, because my parents, were a teacher and an AC transit mechanic. We didn't have a trust fund. We didn't have generations of our family.
I understand it. I went to Howard. Old money, new money. What car do you drive? What do your parents do? And whether or not you stand up to the brown paper bag test.
Right.
Crazy. And coming from the Bay, we knew nothing of such nonsense. We were like, you Black, even if it's you black.
Exactly. Right, you Black. I mean, that's the thing. We were all Black. I mean, even in terms of other races, like everybody was basically Black growing up. Everybody was Black. So that is all we knew.
That's all we knew. And we mixed and mingled with all different cultures here. Our friends were Filipino, Chinese, Cantonese, Hispanic, Guatemalan, and then we go to these places where everything is so much more segregated.
Right.
And what do you do with that?
Right.
And when did it become cool to walk around in public in a bonnet? Like, we believed in Black excellence.
Absolutely. It's really so many layers and levels to that. And as a people, what I realize in going from the place where coming from being a very high achiever, going through so much to make it out of Oakland, getting to Atlanta and finding myself from where I was the student body president, I found myself in a situation where I was now looking at, okay, the strip club is the only way I can survive. This is the only way I can pay for my school. This is the only way that I don't have to come back home and be a failure. And then that potentially being a gateway to so many other forms of being trafficked and so many other things that I witnessed, but I was very blessed to not have gone through, but saw so many people around me get ate up by those circumstances, having, people that I dated who were, you know, part of BMF or rolling with P. Diddy or rolling with this person, that person, and having people close to me killed, having people close to me losing their freedom, are still in prison now, having some of my friends drugged, myself even was drugged at one point.
And hooked
you know?
on drugs
Yeah.
and alcohol, and
Yeah.
not being able to find their way out.
Right. No lifeline, no foundation, and circumstances that are set up for your failure. You then being blamed for succumbing to them when it's very easy. Like, it's very easy for Black youth in America to fail because the system is set up to accommodate that and to make actually failure seem like something to aspire to do. And so once I was able to get myself out of those circumstances graciously and thankfully, I graduated on time. It's like I snapped back into a deeper level of my success than I ever had before, because I saw my life almost taken from me, and I understood more of the circumstances that led to that. And so through me going through my journey, elevating my consciousness and my lifestyle, what I call from ghetto to goddess.
And it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Right?
It's still a prize. It's still an everyday
fighting.
journey. Yes.
It wasn't like that path was easy.
Right. Absolutely. Because it's a holistic problem that needs a holistic solution. And I want to really help clarify, because people will hear, oh, are you just calling Black people ghetto? Are you saying this or that? And what I'm recognizing is that we as a people are the mothers and fathers of civilization. We have the oldest and most impactful cultures of some great cultures in the world. And so we started out in the goddess state, where most African cultures are matriarchal. We honor the divine feminine, and us in the goddess state is being able to determine our own destiny. And so we started in the goddess state and were taken to the ghetto through enslavement, through colonization, through Jim Crow, through the crack cocaine epidemic, through the prison industrial complex, through the corporate takeover of media, through so many, forms of negative programming in our community, through economic disempowerment, through, the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombing of Black Wall Street, and so many massacres and lynchings, and so much that we as a people have gone through and continue to go through. And so that's us being taken from the goddess to the ghetto state. And so it's up for us to now take that next journey, to take our destinies and our people, our collective circumstances and outcomes from ghetto to goddess. And that's something, again, it's a holistic problem that needs and deserves a holistic solution.
Yeah. I've always appreciated you being open to being vulnerable and telling your story, because for you wanted to make sure that no one else would end up in some of the potential places that you were in, and that the sky is the limit. And sometimes it takes discipline, and discipline is no fun oftentimes. But if you get past the glitz and the glam, which really is smoke and mirrors, you may see a little bit that looks exciting and fun in those moments, but it's only in those moments. It's fleeting.
Absolutely.
But living a whole God-fearing life where you're believing that the sky's the limit, and that you are and come from kings and queens. It's so much more that we can give to the world.
Absolutely. And the world deserves so much more from us, and especially us as people who descend from Africa, who brought over here with us so much richness of culture, of inventions, of innovation, of creativity, and of different ways that we learn and grow. It's really important for us to identify all the different ways that we can contribute to our success and greatness and make that happen. And so that's been my mission, because people are always like, well, you do so many things. I have to, because
and I love it.
That's,
why not?
That's why we're here.
That is why we're here. And so fast forward to now, what are you doing?
So the best way I can quantify what I do now is to say I am a global change maker.
A global change maker.
From Oakland to the world.
Queen Iminah, global takeover. Hey.
Global, from Oakland to the world, for real. So I am a recording artist. Again, much eternal love to Dwayne Wiggins. Was very grateful to be his protege, musical collaborator. Worked with a lot of amazing artists.
You guys went to the Mecca together.
Yes, we went to Ghana, we went to Nigeria, we went to so many states throughout
and performed throughout. Yeah. And how magical was it to be able to take your show on the road, for a lack of a better word, to a whole nother country where everyone or so many look like us, and just happy for you to be there and to perform and see you perform in all your greatness. How was that?
It was a dream into reality. It was so real and surreal at the same time. And it was shocking for a lot of Africans as well, because they expected an American performance, what they understand as American, and then they got an extremely African and American performance. And so that was something that was just a learning curve for them. Like, well, how do you all know so much about Africa and about our culture? And I'm like, this is our culture. Like, we're, you know, just of the same tribe. We've just been separated a few hundred years, which is a drop when we think about the millions of years that humanity has been in existence, especially African people have been in existence for millions of years. And so it was a dream into reality, and just such a blessed time. And we as a people are really educated and cultured through music. And so it was a great opportunity for educational advancement, and just in different ways of connecting with different members of the African community and having experiences that just added a lot of depth and understanding, and appreciation for our culture, and also gave all of us a deeper space for creativity and innovation in our work.
I remember when he came back, he was so excited, so grateful. He was like, man, you have to go. Like, he really felt that he tapped into another part of himself, musically, creatively, as a man. And, you know, even when my daughter went to Ghana, Callie Rose, and she may have been 10. Or she was in Young, Gifted, and Black here in Oakland, YGB. Shout out YGB. Shouts out. And when they went through the tombs, even at that young age, she cried. When she came back, she said it was so emotional, and she was really appreciative of the time there at that age, really tapping into kind of the history of our ancestors. And so I know it has to have been amazing for you guys to go and to be able to gift a totally different community your artistry, and then to receive from them too.
Oh man, it was such a blessing. I was blessed to travel to Nigeria once with Dwayne, and then 3 times to Ghana with Dwayne. And I've myself been back and forth to Africa about 5 or 6 times now. And I encourage everyone to make it a lifestyle, like make it a continuum, make it something that you're continuously doing and authentically connecting with. It's not just, oh, I'm going to Africa. Where are you going? What people are you going with? What experiences are you having? What are the names of the people? You know, don't do it National Geographic style and say, oh, I'm documenting this tribe here and there. Like, no, these are people just like we're people, and these are our people. And that was the biggest experience that I know that Dwayne walked away with, that Tony walked away with, and that I continue to walk with, is that these are our people worldwide. And it just like we have a home in Oakland and we love each other in the Bay Area and have so much support and so many great things here, we're able to replicate those kinds of connections anywhere in the world that we go, but especially at home in the motherland. And us as a people here in the political climate that we're in now, just the state of especially the Black Bay Area right now, it's important for us to do what we can to embed systemic change in our communities in any ways that we can. So another thing I've been working on the last 10 years in Oakland, in addition to doing my music, is being the co-founder and director of the African American Female Excellence Program. That's a part of Oakland Unified School District. So shouts out to Oakland, and especially, you know, our teachers, our educators, everyone in the education ecosystem. This is the first ever district-wide program in the nation that's focused on supporting Black girls as a citywide strategy. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And it's a continuum, you know, daily work.
Right.
We have some great supporters and partners that I'm really grateful for. We were able to become a legacy beneficiary of the San Francisco 49ers, the first one in Oakland. Out of 100 organizations that applied, they chose us and have been supporting our work the last 3 years. So I'm continuously grateful for that. The Golden State Warriors have supported us a lot. Yes, they support us a lot. Shouts out to their entire team and foundation as well. Truly grateful for community members. We have teachers at 13 different schools in Oakland that are currently running the AFI program there. So shouts out to all of the AFI community in elementary, middle, and high schools. If I start naming schools, we'll be here all day. Yeah. But just much love to everyone who makes that AFI work possible. And then I've also been blessed to, be invited to like lecture at Harvard, or I was honored by the United Nations a few years ago for our work as a model in the African diaspora. I'm being honored as one of the most influential people in the African diaspora under 40.
Such as your name, list. Queen Iminah.
So
leading.
Grateful. Yeah, so grateful.
Leading. Well, thank you for all that you do. I always love seeing you in community. Yes. We're always like, hey, Queen.
Always. It's always a blessing.
Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you for, using your light to help us shine, and just thank you for your grace and your beauty and just sharing your talents. Continuously, you've been building your show over the years and just continuing to highlight so many amazing stories that we have. And now more than ever, it's really important for us to have ownership and curation over our own story, so we can have ownership and curation over our own glory.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that. And thank you for riding along with the journey with us.
All gas, no brakes.
All gas, no brakes.